Hello there, my name's Shadylikeatree, and this is a weekly podcast or bi-weekly podcast, we're not really sure yet, that myself, Crystal, and Callum all did for the CrashCast Games YouTube. This week we have Vinceofalltrades as our special guest, and we talk about a bunch of different things, some things we're excited about and whatnot. It really doesn't have any order, and I wanted to cut this up, but didn't really have time because I'm going to PAX tomorrow. I'm leaving for PAX, and so I didn't have time to cut this up. I'm going to render this out tonight. But I had a great time on the podcast. We talked about anything and everything. I laugh a bunch of times, and you should also notice that I'm a little more nasally than for some of you who know me personally. We'll see. I'm still getting over sick, and in this podcast you will definitely hear my sickness. But I hope you guys enjoy this. I certainly, again, had a great time doing it. I know everyone else did, and we'll catch you next time. And why don't you guys just lay back and enjoy, and don't forget to like and save this for later if you can't finish it. Bye.
Hello.
Hi, Callum.
Oh, hey, how you guys doing?
I'm okay. Are you all right?
I've got wet hair.
Whip
I'm kind of
my
okay.
hair back and forth, yeah, whip it. So we decided that you would be the Hulk, in the if we were the Avengers, you would be the Hulk. We think that that's what you would be.
All right, louder.
Do you agree with
Uh,
that?
I don't really get angry. No, I don't agree with that. In fact, I'm
But you could
getting angry
turn
now.
green.
Crystal says it's because you could turn green.
When did this happen?
Like, I don't know, a few minutes ago, Crystal and I were discussing that. I said, let's assemble the Avengers, and she's like, well, then I'm definitely Black Widow, and then I'm like, well, I guess that makes me Captain America, and then Vince decided he was Hawkeye, so, I mean,
Well, I want to be Thor then. If he gets to choose, I want to be Thor.
okay, well, Thor it is.
Can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then we can put.
I'm using not as good mic, but louder mic, so.
That's fine. I'm recording it in 128-bit right now, so we're golden.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yep.
I'm just now trying out CallGraph.
I use MP3 Skype recorder.
May have to check that out.
It's free and it's awesome, and it's not overly it's simple yet awesome. It
Oh,
it as you
I
as you go along, it says how long the recording is, what the file size is, and then it gives you 5 bitrate settings, 3 recording modes, and it automatically hooks in with Skype. So like I didn't have to do like anything but push a button that says okay, this is allowed.
oh
I
damn.
downloaded one that took like 10 minutes to uninstall because it wouldn't let me uninstall it, and it didn't work ever. And I think about that one. So
Huh.
I don't like that one.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
This
Your
is the one.
choice in programs
This is the
dissatisfies me.
this is the one I've used since the beginning of my YouTube days, some 3 years ago.
The good old days.
The good old days back when it was more fun and I had better content in my subscription box. I was very disappointed. I've had nothing good in there for like 3 days other than Gassy's SimCity playthrough. Everything else has just been meh.
I think YouTube in general has kind of died off for me.
Yeah.
Like, I just stopped caring about 90% of what people I follow post.
It's all the same now.
It's let's see if we can get drunk with 5 of my favorite YouTubers and then we'll all post the same exact video.
No, that's just Diction's channel.
Well, yeah, true. But everyone who's in that stream, well, I mean, Gold Glove's been doing it too, and so has Justra, and yeah.
That was something that I was thinking about last night. People who double monetize, so like people who, and I'll use Diction as an example, even though I think he's a great guy, but just people who get paid to stream and also just take their stream clips and post them on YouTube and get double the money for it. Actually, more than that because they cut their stream into 80 parts.
Yeah.
Um,
I can see the point of it though, because I don't ever really make it to one of Nick's streams.
Yeah,
So
I totally see the point, but Twitch
yeah.
has an archive feature, of course. Even as someone who hangs around Twitch a lot, as I am, I tend to like archives to be uploaded to YouTube.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it's like, well, are people doing it because it's better for their viewers, or is it because they just want to make double, triple the money off of it?
Yeah.
Well, it's a job for these people, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I guess you've got to look at it that way.
So is it really? I don't know. I was just thinking about it last night. Like, is it fair, in air quotes, to like double or triple monetize a single content.
Well, everyone has the option to do it, don't they? So,
Well, not everyone has a Twitch and YouTube partnership.
well, that's true. But I mean, once you get to that level, it's kind of
Yeah.
everyone's got to work at it. There was a time when Diction definitely wouldn't have had that either. So,
Yeah.
Diction has had a Twitch partnership since before he streamed. Ever. I remember that.
well, okay, that's a bit unfair.
Yeah, basically him and Spoon. It was after the first call of the community, and basically Eric, aka Aviator, hooked everyone up with Twitch partnerships because that was when Twitch was first getting started, and they needed to partner people. So he got like Spoon had a partnership before he ever streamed. Diction did too. A few other guys did as well. It's like,
damn.
okay.
Yep.
But they also do that now. You can, if you have like over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube or something, they'll partner you on Twitch before you ever stream.
Well, I'm only 99,300 and some away.
Exactly.
So close.
So close. I should probably just, yeah. I'm not even gonna finish that thought. Not worth finishing. My NyQuil and DayQuil brain does not function properly.
Oh, poor Shady.
All right. Are we gonna do this? Because I am gonna watch the continual marathon on my television set of Criminal Minds that has been going all day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot of death, a lot of destruction, and I want to go out and kill people now.
Oh. I'm not
Good
telling you where I
Sunday.
live.
No, I don't want to kill people. I just want to stop the bad people. And by stop the bad people, I mean put poop in their mouth and sit on their chest.
Yum.
Sounds appetizing.
Yes. I want spaghetti for dinner. Does anyone else want food?
I've
Not
had
now.
spaghetti for 3 days for dinner, so
That's not fair, Vince. I hate you right now.
I know, I want it again. I think we still have some left. I'll have spaghetti for you.
Well, then I will make it myself when I go downstairs. Let's just hope I don't have a repeat of last night where I burned myself and spilled it, and then it only ended up eating like half of what I made. Because I burned half of it, and then I spilled part of it, and it was just not good.
That's horrible.
You're such a pro.
I cried.
This is like foreshadowing of when I move out. Except it'll be worse.
I mean, I'm a capable cook, but when I'm sick, I am worthless at everything.
Yeah, no, except I'm not a capable cook, so it'll be like microwaved, like macaroni and cheese, and I'll burn myself and spill it, and then be sad.
There is nothing wrong with microwave macaroni and cheese, let me tell you that.
I've never had macaroni and cheese in my entire life.
What?
What?
Get out of here, Callum.
Never.
No.
How is that even possible?
It's not a popular dish
It's
over here.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think you need to move, like, right now.
To be honest, every time I watch like Man vs. Food, it makes me just want to go over to America.
Oh my gosh.
Just go eat.
Who's ringing? Nobody's ringing. That was really weird. Okay, we should probably start.
No, it's totally me. I just muted my mic.
Oh, okay. I'm dumb.
You're hearing things.
I don't know what are these sounds? What is outside? I don't understand.
Outside's that place that we don't go for fear of getting burned.
Okay.
I just dropped USB and I don't know where it went. It's gone. Where'd it go?
Where are
Oh,
we gonna
tragic.
upload this?
Everywhere.
All the places?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Okay. So then I'll let Crystal start because I don't feel
Put
good.
it on Facebook.
I'm not putting it on Facebook, my boss.
It's like the last place anybody ever uploads anything.
Yeah, I never put things on Facebook because I know people on Facebook and they just don't understand. But I was talking yesterday. I was riding in the car with my mom, and I was trying to explain. Well, I wasn't trying to explain to her. I was talking about PAX and how excited I was to see all these indie developers and to get to play Splinter Cell, and how I'm gonna see Spoon there, and my mom just doesn't understand like how I can be excited to meet people I've never met before in my life. And I'm like,
It's
Mom,
stranger danger, Shady.
you don't understand.
Just looking out for you.
You don't understand. I know these people.
You don't get me!
You don't understand me!
You're not my mother!
Which is odd because, like, your mom probably had pen pals when she was younger, right?
Yeah,
Probably,
with a
at some
guy in
point.
prison.
Ew. Oh, well. Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's her, like, reality of knowing people that you haven't met, that they're all prisoners, or should be.
Some of the people that I'm sure will be at PAX should be prisoners, because, yeah, it's just bad. But anyway, why don't we'll do, I don't know. My brain doesn't work.
I
What-
totally understood that.
Crystal, why don't you start, and then you get intro, and then we'll just introduce ourselves in order. I don't
And it'll
know.
be horribly awkward from that point on.
And then,
Exactly.
and then, no, it won't. I promise. And then whoever's last will say, or wait, so you say your name, and then what you're doing or what you're playing right now, and then uh,
Shady, how about we just do things in order?
okay,
And
whatever you say.
Crystal's gonna be the ringleader
Okay, whatever you say.
I
because
don't like being put in this position.
people will listen if they hear a female voice. It's a fact.
Maybe I should talk like a man.
You can try it.
I
I'm a
wanna
man.
talk. Yeah, that didn't work. That was definitely you could tell. Maybe you should play Black Ops while putting on a dress while wearing a dress because that's apparently like a hard achievement to accomplish.
It just sounds uncomfortable.
Well, Shannon's been putting all those gamer girls on Twitter and they make me giggle. She's like, yes, I just went 7 and 9 in Black Ops while wearing a dress. I'm a good girl gamer. And I'm like, oh my God, someone shoot me, please. This world is coming to
7 for 9, she's doing better than me at the moment.
All right. So, hold on.
Take like a 3-second pause, and then you start. I've been recording this whole time. So yeah, whenever
All
you're
right.
ready.
What is the name of this podcast? I mean, what are we
Doesn't need a
calling
name.
this?
No.
Does it-
It doesn't have it. We didn't come up with a name.
Names can come later.
Welcome to the podcast that is not named.
Well, does it need a title? Can it just be like a call and some people talking?
Why
Yeah.
don't you
That
just
be a thing?
that can be the thing, and that could be the name. Four people talking in a call.
Well, I figure I'm just a guest, right?
Sounds very alluring.
Kind of reminds me of like when that one time I went to waterbeds and stuff, and I went in the back room, and like 5 people from high school were there, and I was like, this is kind of weird. So I left.
What, Shady?
So I left.
What relevance did that have to anything?
The awkwardness. I don't know. I'm on
Oh, did that
drugs.
already set in? I did. I missed the awkwardness setting.
I don't know. I'm on drugs. My brain is on drugs.
That explains so much.
So instead of having an intro, let's just have it already started somewhere, and this just being our transition into it.
I say go for it. Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
And then silence.
Well, I'm waiting for Callum to say something because he hasn't talked in like an hour. I think he went back to sleep.
I'm doing my hair.
I whip my hair back and forth, yeah. If you have not seen that video, I need to link that for you guys.
I don't know
Not
what
now,
that is.
Shady, not now.
Oh, I
We
won't.
can't handle it right now.
I won't link it right now. I'll link it after the call. Okay, so where are we doing? I guess I'll start.
Because Crystal dropped the ball.
Because Crystal fumbled the ball at the goal line and we just lost 2 points.
Hey now, I am a very good.
I don't know what sport you're referencing right there.
That was American football.
No, they kick it like once every game. It's not football.
Hence why I said American football.
No, it's still got
Oh, is
foot
it?
in the
There are
name.
still
Why?
people who are angry about this.
Yes.
You're one
Well,
of a dying breed.
let me
Oh.
explain to you the rules of the American football, Callum, from many years ago. When football was originally found, it was actually a much different game than the present game, and it was kicked about 5 times as much.
Where does
Ah.
rugby fit into this?
And there are also a bunch of rules in the rule book to which you can use your foot, but because of the way the game is now, that they're not ever used. Like you can like kick the ball across the field to another teammate and he can score, and you can kick it through the goal more often, but they just do it the way they do it now because I don't know, it's easier, more I don't know. But in the rule book you can use your foot like 10 times more than they use it, but they just choose not to because they're dumb.
Because they want to punch people. Arrgh.
Sure.
No, that's hockey.
You crazy
Crystal's
Americans.
Hey, hockey's the crazy Canadians. Leave
Yeah,
us alone.
that's not our sport.
That's true.
Hey. Okay, well,
boat?
oh man, I choked on my own phlegm. Okay.
It's always nice.
All right. Well, while he dies, death.
Okay, I'm better,
Okay.
I think. Okay, well, so I guess our first topic kind of that we wanted to talk about, well, that I brought up was that what's going on because it's been like I've made 2 videos in 3 months, basically, that were gaming related. So what's going on and what you've been playing. Me, I've been playing old school games, Rocket Power, Need for Speed Underground 2, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, what else do I have over there? NFL Street, Halo, the original Halo. And yeah, that's what I've been playing.
No, wait, Shady, can I cut you off for a second?
Yeah,
Did you say there's a Rocket Power game?
yep, I have it for PlayStation 1.
I was never aware of a Rocket Power game. How glorious
It's
is it?
called like Rocket Power. It's sitting right here on the shelf. I can get up and look.
Is it like a Tony Hawk ripoff?
No, it's different,
Okay.
kind of. Team Rocket
So yes,
Team
it's a
Rocket
Tony Hawk
Rescue is
ripoff.
what it's called. Basically, the idea is it's just a free skate, and you just have one of the 4 characters, and you just skate around all willy-nilly like, and you try to get the power-ups and go fast, and there's a roller coaster you can get on and like take this big drop and like do like a 900. It's very primitive, but it's fun.
Okay, I'm glad. I learned something today.
Yeah, I bought it for like $3 at a store like locally like 3 or 4 days
I
ago.
think you got overcharged.
No, I didn't actually, because it's like $6 online. I
I know. I
paid.
bought Devil
I
May Cry
paid.
2 for $2 at GameStop, and that's a
You bought what?
PS game. Devil May Cry 2.
No, I bought this for $1.99.
Okay,
So
fair enough.
yeah, that's what I've been playing. So someone else can tell me what they've been playing. Vince, what have you been playing? It's no talk.
Yeah, well, I was gonna let someone else go first because I've already talked. But anyways, I have been streaming occasionally, like twice a month. Fallout 3. I've never played that before, somehow. And other than that, I just stick to my little fighting game thing, playing a lot of Marvel, and that's about it. A lot of school. School is what I've been doing.
I don't miss those days.
I have to look forward to it.
Yes, you do.
Rah. All right. Well, my turn. Is it my turn?
I
It's
guess.
your turn.
Okay.
No, it's
well,
my turn. Okay, now you go.
You don't go now. All right, but anyway, what have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Dragon Age, 2, trying to do some recording and stuff. I recently got back into Mass Effect 3 because of the new DLC, which is awesome, by the
Crystal,
way.
you've never not been into Mass Effect 3. You've
You
always been playing Mass Effect 3.
You shut up.
It's a never-ending cycle.
I know. I can't help it. It's addicting and
You know
awesome.
what?
I gotta figure out
played
what
it, and it was
console
the most
I have that
boring
for.
game.
Did I just hear someone say that was a boring game?
Yeah, that was Callum that said that.
I'm
that
going
was
to
me.
kill you. I'm going to burn you with fire.
I
Can
think
I
I
watch?
got like 10 minutes in, and I was like, nope, not for me.
What?
It's okay, the ending sucks.
Yeah,
I've heard, yeah.
I will agree that I was rather disappointed by the ending, but
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I've never played any of them.
I've only played the third one, and I played about 25 minutes of the second one before I traded it in to buy the third one.
Well, dang.
Yeah, I didn't trade it in. I returned it and then used the funds to buy the third one. I did like a 4-day rental through GameStop to try to see if I would find it enjoyable.
I just have no words for you guys right now.
But I did enjoy the game, even though I thought the ending was bad. I would have rather had a better ending than an ending that was the same no matter what you did.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, so Crystal, does that wrap up you?
Sure, why not?
I guess it's me next. What have I been playing? I don't really get much time to play anything at the moment, so it's Black Ops 2 for the odd half hour when I get home from work. What do I want to play though? I've got Borderlands 2. I haven't had a
Oh,
chance to even put it in yet.
I want to watch. I
So
want to play that so bad.
get it on PS3 and then we'll co-op it
Okay.
because we
Yeah.
need to. My brother's just picked up a PS2 and a GameCube, and they've got some games for that, which I'll probably play a bit later. My brother's playing Metal Gear Solid 2 at the moment. I want to play that. I don't want to get the Bouncer. Does anyone remember that game?
The
The
bouncer.
The
bouncer.
Bouncer,
I never
yeah.
heard of it.
The only thing that I
PS2.
remember is that it's a weapon in Ratchet and Clank somewhere along the line.
Oh, it was like it was a fighting game that was kind of like Dynasty Warriors, but set in a city, I guess.
Makes sense.
And
So
you were just going.
you're a really angry bouncer with a lot of angry customers,
No,
and you just have to beat them all
you're
up
a bouncer at a club, and your girlfriend gets kidnapped, and you have to rescue her. So
by beating up security guards. Like
something like
who's
that.
the villain in this game?
It was so long ago, I can't even remember all the details. I just know I want to play it again.
you just know you punch people and then you get your girlfriend
Exactly.
back. All right, okay.
And you have a team, and it's just like, yeah,
So standard
team.
standard Dynasty Warriors plot.
Yeah, pretty much.
I forgot to mention that I've been playing a metric boatload of Minecraft as well. But yeah.
I've been wanting to. I have this like innate desire to play Minecraft until I actually open the game and then realize that I'll be bored if I play it.
So bored. I
Yeah,
used to
same
play
here.
it a lot.
But I have
we
so many ambitions, so much ambition. Like I keep opening it, like every day I open it, and I'm like, no, I can't.
me and my friends
So
were actually
sad.
renting a server, and we got Tekkit for it, and it's a lot of fun. But once you get to a certain point, it's just like end game, and you get certain items. So it just makes it. That's why vanilla Minecraft is so much fun, I guess, because you just keep on building and building and building and building. But my
I'd,
laptop sucks right now.
I'd waste way too much time on that. There's no way.
Yeah, I do play it too much. I would agree. Yeah. But there's not really much else I can play when I'm sick because I tried to play Black Ops 2 the other day and I was playing for whatever reason. I think this was my medicated brain. I was playing hardcore and I killed more teammates in the 15 minutes I played than I killed enemy players by about 50 to 1.
Wow. I don't know what it is about Black Ops 2, but I used to play hardcore on Modern Warfare 3 like a lot, and I was pretty decent at it. But anytime I go on at Black Ops 2, I'm just absolutely shit.
So
So
many bullets, so high fire rate everywhere,
I don't
and
know.
that SMGs like go through everything all
Yeah.
the time. So when you have something that shoots stupidly fast and has a moderately large clip that shoots through everything, hardcore is not that great.
Yeah,
I think
I
that's
was.
the appeal to it though as well.
I
Like, that's
mostly
why
went on
people
it
play it.
to level up TAC 45 and pistols, but
Yeah,
I don't
really.
know. It seems to be that TAC 45 just works well in any game mode. It doesn't even need to be
It does.
hardcore. It's
Yeah,
such a
the
beast.
tactics good. Anyways, let's move on to our next little topic, right?
Yep. So, pre-orders. Um, the positives and negatives and this is kind of in relation to what happened with both Aliens Colonial Marine, I believe was the underlying title of that, as well as what happened with SimCity and its release and subsequent few days after that. Um, I guess I'll preface my kind of point of view by saying I am an avid um, pre-orderer, and I've pre-ordered in the last 12 months, I'd say 9 games.
I can't
Really?
remember the last time I actually pre-ordered a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can run through them. Lara Croft, the Call of Duty, for both PlayStation and Xbox, the newest Assassin's Creed, MLB 11, or I'm sorry, MLB 12 in the spring, last spring. I pre-ordered, oh boy, I gotta even look at my shelf. Mass Effect. Just a lot of stuff. That's just some of the stuff that I'm seeing that immediately comes to mind from the last year. But yeah, I do it a lot. But generally now I'm at the point where I'll only do it if there's a really good bonus of physical merchandise. So, like for instance, the Lara Croft game came with a statue, a tin, some stickers, a bunch of other stuff I didn't really care about. The Assassin's Creed thing came with a statue, a flag, a map, um, and some other like little stuff that did necklace. Same with like Uncharted, it had a statue, a box that was kind of nifty, and a necklace, and of course we all know about the quad rotor from Black Ops 2 and the RC car and the night vision goggles. So I have all that stuff, and that's really the only time I'm buying that. And I'm going to be getting the new Splinter Cell that doesn't come out until August. I've already put $100 down on it. It's $190 and it comes with a plane.
My God.
Wow.
But here's the but. The plane goes 45 miles an hour.
Can you ride in it?
You cannot ride in said plane,
Then it's a ripoff, Shady.
but the plane goes 45 miles an hour and it's a pretty cool plane, and
Shady,
I'm into
that
remote controlled
You're
stuff
gonna break
anyway.
it
that
within an
plane's
hour of
going
getting out of the
45.
box.
Yeah, that plane's going 45 miles an hour into a wall, and then it's gonna be dead forever.
Well,
Like,
I'm not gonna run it into a wall. Plus, it's made out of
you
carbon
say that right
fiber,
now.
which is why it's so expensive. But anyway,
So let me just ask, what would be a negative? Like, this is your topic. I haven't really heard anything about this as far as discussion, but what would you consider negative about it?
well, a negative of pre-ordering is what happened with Aliens Colonial Marine, where it was a terrible game. I spent $60 on Duke Nukem Forever, and that may have been the worst game I've ever played.
Yeah.
Maybe in the history of games. I paid $60 for that game, got it at release thinking I played the demo like everybody else. The demo was great. You know what? The demo was the best part of the game. It was the first 10, 15 minutes of the game, and it was polished, it was functional, it was great. And then I get the rest of the game, and your dude is doing weird motions in the mirror. He's not able to take cover behind certain things. He's running out of bullets when you got to use a rocket to kill this thing, and the graphics were lackluster in parts, and the game repeated itself, and it was just bad.
Yeah. Okay,
And
so
and like I wanted to like return it, but they wouldn't take it, and I was like, well, how much is it for, me to trade it in? And they were like $10, and it was selling for $10 at GameStop. There were 45 copies at the local GameStop for $10.
dang.
2 weeks
Damn.
after launch. 2 weeks after launch, 45 copies at $10.
Yeah, you got
Well,
ripped off.
Yeah.
I tend to pre-order games,
And
and
I still
it's
have it. I was so mad I kept it. I didn't even trade it in.
all right. I tend to pre-order games, and it's because basically I don't want to forget about it. Because like if you pre-order it, like they'll text me and stuff before it comes
Yeah,
out.
that is true.
The other
That's
thing is
an
that
advantage.
I don't have to worry about paying for it because I usually just pay it off on the pre-order. And it's kind of, I know we're going to talk about the PS4 a little later, but with digital games, my thing is that I don't like having to wait, like, buy a game and wait like 4 hours for it to download, and then like 4 hours for it to install, and then have to update it again afterward. I like being able to just like go to the store, come back, and just have to do like
A
two
five
of
minute,
those things
yeah,
instead of yeah,
like a 5 minute update. Yeah.
or yeah, and like a
Right.
half an hour install. And with like Steam and stuff, you can like pre-order games on Steam, and you can like download them and install them ahead of time. So that's not really as big of a deal anymore. But still, I like just being able to have a game, just run to the store, pick it up. I like having the box and stuff,
Yep.
which a lot of people that aren't used to like just purely digital releases like usually like having the physical media. Yeah, a lot of the DLC now, or the content that comes along with the pre-ordered games now, is completely not worth it. That shouldn't be the reason why you're pre-ordering, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Example was Devil May Cry. I pre-ordered Devil May Cry. They're like, oh hey, you're gonna get some cool skins and stuff. And it was literally like your weapons get skinned. Like it's not even Dante gets skinned. It's like the weapons just show up a little bit differently. There's nothing special about it. They just appear a little bit different. That was disappointing. I can remember another game I pre-ordered was Rage. And in that one, they basically just give you, like, in the beginning of Rage, you basically have to pick between whether you want something that makes your attack stronger, your health higher, or like your defense higher, or something like that. And the pre-order gives you all three. So I kind of dislike it when games give me those like god perks that just make the game really simple and easy, and you don't really get to enjoy playing because you're so overpowered. But overall, I like pre-ordering games, just because it kind of keeps me on track, makes me not have to worry about paying for it later. They remind me when it comes out, and that's about it for me.
Yeah, for me, it's not that big of a deal to get games like right when they come out because I don't get a lot of time to play them anyway. So if I'm not gonna come home and just put it straight in, then I don't mind waiting a few days till payday and then seeing if it's any good. Because I was gonna pre-order Aliens Colonial Marines, and then I'm glad I didn't. Obviously, dodged a bullet. So it's positives and negatives, of
yeah,
course.
and I agree with that too. I mean, I guess that's the negative thing, is that you're kind of locked into playing it. Like, you go in there and you're like, oh man, all these games look really cool, so I'll just pre-order them all now. And usually around like the August September haul of games, like I have Borderlands 3 that I haven't, or Borderlands 2, my bad, that I've only played like 2 hours of since I bought it. I've only played I haven't beaten Assassin's Creed 3 yet. Like there's like 5 or 6 games that I bought because I pre-ordered them that I just haven't got around to playing yet.
I'll let Crystal speak, but I will say that before we finish this, I am in the same boat you are, Vince. But go ahead, Crystal, with your thoughts, and then I'll.
All right. Well, I mean, since we're talking about pre-ordering, I think the only reason why that I was ever really interested in pre-ordering was mainly because I was afraid like they would run out of physical copies. Like that was my only concern. I would pre-order a game and I would have that game no matter what.
Okay.
But ultimately, though, I mean, there's really not a point. I don't really pre-order games anymore unless it's a game that I know for sure that I want.
Yeah, I also, I didn't mention this, but I also like to go to the launch parties. Um, because I live in a small town, and so like that's kind of like for all the gamers, it's kind of like the only thing to do that night. So GameStop has they'll have their launch party, and you go and you hang out and you just talk about games for 2 or 3 hours with whomever may show up. Um, and also getting all the free stuff at the launches. Like I've got maybe 30 or 40 of those GameStop boxes that like they use in their stores. I've gotten like free lanyards and necklaces, and I got a Sniper Elite keychain that was a pre-release thing that they had left over that I would have never gotten otherwise if I hadn't gone to, I think it was the Assassin's Creed launch 2 years ago. Um, but I like going for that, and I also like um, another thought I have is that whenever like there's not a good like physical item that comes with a game, um, I have this issue where it seems like every May my birthday comes around, my Game Informer subscription runs out, and I get something else. But basically, I get three buy two get one free coupons for used games at GameStop, and I still have 9 from last May that I haven't beaten, and there's a list of things that I want to get in May. I want to get Borderlands 2. I want to get BioShock. I've never played any of the BioShocks. I want to get into that series. There's like, oh man, there's just so many things that I never got around to playing that I want to get and want to play, but haven't been able to because I just don't have the time. And I'm luckily I finished Tomb Raider in the first week. Otherwise, I would feel really, really bad about buying that and not finishing anything else. But yeah, for me, when I'm pre-ordering, gotta have a physical piece of merchandise that comes with it, whether it's extra or not, doesn't really matter. I've paid I think I paid $250 for one of these things. I don't remember which one it was.
God.
I know that Infamous was 180, Assassin's Creed was 100. Um, oh, it was the original Black Ops was 150. That's what it was.
Yeah,
It was
I never
150,
did
not
it.
250. So most I've ever expended is like $190, and that was on Infamous 2.
So have either of you, Callum or Crystal, have either of you ever gone to a midnight release?
I've
No, I
never
haven't.
been to one, no. Mostly because all the chavs go to the ones here, and when I say chav, obviously you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Um, Skanky kids. That's the best
Skanky
way I
Skanky
could
kids.
kids.
put it.
I
So
like that. That's a
kind
great
of
phrase.
yobs that you would see, you know, and they go there. They do Call of Duty Midnight release down at we have Game over here, and but I've never been to one purely because I've never been that fussed about getting the game on launch night. So, or they do it midweek and I've got work the next morning,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
I
that's
can't
usually the
really.
case.
I get up at
Um,
7.
I've already decided and I've already informed my new job that I'm going to be taking the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday following the release of Modern Warfare 4 or whatever the next Call of Duty is off, because this is the first time in my life where I've not had school the next day or had a job where I didn't get vacation. So I'm planning my second ever big boy vacation is going to be the following the release of the next Call of Duty, because I have this bad habit of only playing like one day of Call of Duty every year. And like 24 hours of whatever Call of Duty it is. I have never played more than I think one day and 6 hours of any Call of Duty.
Hmm.
If you look at my time, I think the most time I have in Call of Duty is in Call of Duty 4, and I have like one day and 4 hours in that game.
yeah.
I don't really get to play it that much, but anyway, moving on, I suppose, unless anyone
Um,
else has anything else they want to
yeah,
say.
I've been to one
Oh,
midnight release. I think it was for Black Ops 1,
okay.
and it was very cold. But basically, my friend made me go because he was really excited. I had school all day the next day, so I wasn't, and he was like, "Well, just don't go." But that's easy to do when you're taking easy classes and hard to do when you're not. So I went and it was just like it was a bunch of 12-year-old kids whose mothers would periodically stop by to bring them food and stuff. Me being cold and tired and not really excited for Black Ops 1. I wasn't really excited for it. Uh, just really wasn't that great of an experience. Like it wasn't like some like, gamer bro hangout thing. It was just a bunch of kids whining about the cold and calling their moms and crying about it. And then like a few of them, like their mothers were actually standing in line for them. And then like they were just, like at home, and then like their dad would come drop them off at like 11:30. So
That's
that was kind of awkward. Just like watching the ladies be there, like, "Hey, so your kids are at home too?" Like
yeah,
that was weird. Yeah, it was just like, and I was just standing there in the cold for like 3 hours waiting,
yeah.
Yeah, that
and
wouldn't
and
be
all
worth
and
it.
all these kids were like, "I'm so good at Modern Warfare 3, or Modern Warfare 2, I get nukes every day." And like just talking about how basically they were using like the very stereotype, sit in the corner class to get a nuke and get exactly 25 kills a game because you time out otherwise, because you're not moving at all. Just that kind of stuff. It was like not like people who actually wanted to talk about the game. It was just a bunch of little kids saying that they were the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've
they were
been
basically the people that you run into playing the game.
yeah, I could see that. Where I go to the GameStop, it's in a college town, so most of the people that go there are college age. But just looking at my PlayStation games only, I've been to 13 releases for just my PlayStation games that I have on my shelf sitting here. Um, and as I said before, for me, it's just getting free stuff, getting free food, getting free drinks,
Oh, that
and
was the other
hanging
thing.
out.
Yeah, they promised us pizza and there wasn't any pizza.
Yeah.
So I was mad for multiple reasons.
Well,
But the other thing is that I wasn't, my friend was gonna go home, and like I said, he took the day off of school the next day, so he was gonna go home and just start playing at midnight and just play until he can't go anymore and then quit. I wouldn't, even if I didn't have school or anything, I'm not starting playing a game at midnight. I'm just not gonna do it.
oh, I've done that.
And especially with Call of Duty games, because like the server's okay, for a couple hours after release because not everyone has it yet. But then they get flooded and they die and everything's horrible. And I woke up the next day and he was like, the Black Ops servers are so good, like for like an hour, and then they were so bad. Um, that's the other thing. I mean, when you have just masses of people flooding on a server for like the first week of any Call of Duty game or multiplayer game release, expect things to be bad.
I generally play the Call of Duty single player that first night because usually they're like 4 to 6 hours,
And I'm the same way. I
and
play single first.
that's what I do. So like I'll go home at midnight. Actually, when I was in college, I wrote a story about it. I went home to the release, played the game, the single player through all the way, and recorded my experiences in such great detail that I even talked about how many Red Bulls I had finished and how many times I'd gone to the bathroom at that point in the night. I think it was Black Ops 1, and I think I got home around 12:30 and I had the game beat by 6:30. That includes taking a sandwich break. I believe it was like 4:30 in the morning, but anyway, I digress further.
Sandwich.
Yes, I'm gonna have one of those later. Or some spaghetti, probably
So
spaghetti.
let's move on.
Yes.
We're on number 2 on our
Number
list.
numero tre, bro.
Yeah, we're on number 3 now. We were on number 2.
Yes.
So let's get it going.
Rushed games. Okay, so this is in direct relation to um, mostly Aliens, Colonial Marine, but also SimCity to some degree. I know very little about SimCity, what happened with that. I know that there were some server issues and a bunch of people complained, but I know that Aliens Colonial Marine was like a 6 month development time, and it sucked. And it was portrayed to be out like the next coming of Jesus in video
Well,
games.
everything should be that. That's good marketing if you think that.
Well, yeah,
Well, unless you just totally bomb on the release, like this
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
When I actually read the subject, I thought you were going to talk about Assassin's Creed because that's where I've been hearing complaints.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that, that I think Assassin's Creed 4 is a little soon for that game.
Well,
I'm not yet
okay.
ready for it because I literally just finished Assassin's Creed 3 in like December. And like in 4 months, there's going to be a new one.
I haven't even enjoyed the third one yet, though. I mean, I haven't really been able to get into it. That's why it's so disappointing to me.
Oh,
I know I
loved
talked
it.
to Crystal about it, but the Assassin's Creed games have always come out a year after the last one. Like it's weird because I see so much negativity towards the fourth one being rushed, but they've been releasing them yearly the whole time.
I should mention the fact that I have Assassin's Creed 2, which I bought a year ago, and I have Assassin's Creed 3, which I bought at release in October, I think it was, and then I bought Revelations like in December. So I don't
So you're playing them out of order.
I'm playing them A, out of order, and B, kind of whenever I can find the time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
Like
I
I said, I haven't played 3 yet. Oh,
I
I haven't beaten it. I have played
oh,
most of it. Uh,
you're missing out. Oh,
yeah, I play them purely for the plot because as far as the combat is concerned, it's been repetitive since the
oh
first
yeah,
game. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah.
They added dual weapons and stuff like that. It's still just, assassinate a guy pretty much the same way. In all the game, even through all the games, I still primarily use the hidden blade as my main weapon 99% of the time.
Yeah.
The
I had the first one, and like you're saying, yeah, it got repetitive for me really quickly. And after that, I haven't even been interested in Assassin's Creed. Um, I was getting excited about the one that just come out because it obviously moved from Europe over to America, which piqued my interest. But yeah, like you're saying, the other one's going to come out soon. I remember seeing it. I couldn't believe that. Oh wait, there's another one coming out so soon. It's crazy, but who knows if it's going to be rushed? I mean, are they going to be just using the same engine? I take it they will. it's basically just going to be like an expansion, I would imagine,
I
rather
guess
than going to feel like a brand new game.
from what I've read, is basically going to be more of the boat stuff because
It's pirates.
everyone liked. Well, I know it's going to be pirates, but it's going to be more boat stuff because I guess everyone liked the boats so much that it's going to be like you're going to be on a boat, you're going to be traveling to some place, something happened there in history, and then you're going to be on land for like 30 minutes and you're going to do this, this, and this, and then you're going to get back on the boat and go to some other place, and then you're going to do this, this, and this, and this, and repeat the process 20
I
times.
I can say that some of the boat, like the harbor scenes in Assassin's Creed, have been some of my favorite moments in the games, where like you go
Me
into
too.
a harbor
Me too.
and all the boats are on fire and crashing, and you're jumping across all like the the planks and stuff and the floating in the water and everything's on
Yes.
fire, and it's really cool. They've done it a few times.
I liked the ship battling scenes and I like the harbor scenes, but I'm an American history buff, so that's probably why I like the third one the best, is because, I know about, the Battle of Yorktown. I know about um Lexington and Concord. I know about Paul Revere's Ride. I know about all of that stuff. And then to see this interesting take on the American history that I've grown up with and really enjoy just kind of blew it out of the way, and that's what made it be a must-have for me and what got me into the series actually, because when they announced that is when I bought Assassin's Creed 2 and
So,
tried it
Shady,
out.
how do you feel about the Resistance series? I know it's kind of like tangential to this, but
Never played it.
that's also an alternative take on history, and
Is
it's one of my favorite shooter series.
I
Um,
I haven't played that. I haven't played. There's like four big series. It's BioShock, Resistance, Borderlands, and there's a fourth one that everyone talks about, but I've never played because I'm a Call of Duty dweeb or whatever, and never play anything different. But there's like four of them, and I've been slowly peeling the layers back of that onion because I played. I got into Killzone, got into Assassin's Creed, got into Max Payne. So yeah, but I have not played that, but it seems interesting to me. It's just finding the time and the money to be able to do that.
so we've kind of deviated from our topic a little bit. That's just rushed games. That's more of an industry
Yeah,
question in my mind.
yeah.
Crystal, you probably have opinions on this, right? You haven't really said anything.
I don't have like a major opinion. I think my main concern is if they're gonna rush a game, then I just really hope that there's an actual good finished product.
Well, you can see, and I'll use Mass Effect as a model for this. You can use some of Treyarch's games as well. Now that we're in this like digital age of patching and DLC,
Mm.
you don't really need to put a whole lot of work into your initial release.
I think that's
Um,
what aggravates me though.
Yeah.
yeah, and it should, but that's kind of just because of how we're used to polished releases, right?
Right.
Um, 13.2, like I said, I keep referencing this one, didn't have a proper ending at all. It ends on a to be continued screen. For a Final Fantasy game, that's like really a no-no for me. You don't really do that. They said it was going to be finished in DLC, and now they've just announced, like, they were just like, oh yeah, all that DLC we released, yeah, screw that, it's not actually going anywhere. We're just going to release another game that's just going to be canon for full retail price.
It kind of
Um,
makes them seem more greedy that way. They're just wanting to get more money out of people. I mean, that's
yeah,
the impression I get.
Is that
uh,
is that Mass Effect 4 you're talking about?
I'm talking about Final Fantasy 13.3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But yeah, that's the way I kind of view it now. It's like, why would you release a full-fledged title when you can release, something that costs less and just tweak it based on user feedback and provide DLC and get more money than your $60 worth?
Right.
And that seems like the approach. The problem with that is that they're just they're kind of taking the expansion pack route that was popular before all this digital stuff. And that they're just kind of making a new game with the same engine, so it's not any better. It just adds a little bit more plot, and that's kind of what you can see. Like, that's pretty much what DLC is. It's just building off of the same engine and just adding a little bit more.
Yeah.
So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing for the overall future of games, opinions.
Overall future, different for different games, isn't it? My girlfriend plays a hell of a lot of Sims 3, and she always buys the expansion packs when they come out. Like stuff packs, stuff like that. She pre-orders them, so she's a pre-orderer. But for other games, yeah, like you're saying about Call of Duty comes out, they patch it once everyone starts playing it. I guess
Sure.
that's the biggest test pool, isn't it? It's the biggest test pool. It's when everybody gets it, you can see what's actually going to be wrong with it.
Well, that's because Call of Duty refuses to have a beta period.
That's true. That's what I was going to get onto it. A game like Minecraft, you can't say it was rushed because it was released when it wasn't ready. But they said it's not ready. Get it for this price.
And you'll have it
So
forever, no matter what
exactly.
we do to it. I bought Minecraft when it was $9.99. What is it
I
now?
think
What is it now? $25, I think.
Something like that.
I got it for I think I got it for 9.99 euros, so it was like $13 US, something like that.
Yeah,
I got ripped off. I paid like 14 quid for it, which is like I don't
that's
know,
like
20 bucks or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've played the crap out of them. I've gotten my money back and then some on Minecraft. That's for sure. But
I don't know. I think it's a difference though. I mean, like if you're talking about a game like Sims with expansion packs, it's not like it's a majorly game-changing thing versus games like RPGs that really rely on their stories and the routes that they take with that. I mean, like you can't. What pisses me off about games like that is, like Vince was saying, with the to be continued. I mean, if you're gonna make a DLC for that, I just I don't understand that part.
why is it
Like
not in the game?
exactly.
Why are you planning on releasing an unfinished
Well,
game?
yeah, you're releasing an unfinished product, and that's exactly what it is.
I mean, I can understand like with The Sims, like you can put like all these different kinds of appliances and features in the game, and then maybe like you can come up with things that are going to take you longer to do. Like I don't know, make 20 different kinds of cell phones or 20 different kinds of TVs or whatever, and re-release a pack that lets you have all the extra stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's mainly cosmetic. I mean, like with
Yeah,
the Call of Duty DLCs, you can have your extra maps and your extra camos and
and
stuff,
now
and
you're
that's
extra
that's
gun,
fine.
and now you're
Yeah.
extra guns,
Yep.
which the Peacemaker to me is an unfair advantage because I think it's far better than most assault rifles.
I completely disagree with that
I
statement.
picked one up
I do
earlier
as
and thought it
well.
was a pile of crap.
Because what just Callum just said, you can pick it up.
Well, yeah, you can pick it up, but
And that's I mean, it's a good gun, but you can pick it up, so technically everyone can have one.
yeah,
And given the density of people that use it, it usually is my primary, regardless of the fact that I don't have it. Just because so many people are running it, and I just pick them up. But let's see, we kind of got away from it again.
yeah. Anyway,
I guess the end question for this is like, is it different from movies in any way? Because like I was thinking about it. So what makes it angry? Like what makes us angry that Mass Effect 3 didn't have a proper ending? It's because you expected it to, right?
Hmm.
yeah.
If they put like Mass Effect 3 Part 1, you'd be okay mostly with it, more okay than you are right now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, but if you think about movies, I mean, there's a lot of movies that you expect to have endings that just kind of don't. And you can tell that they're just setting it up for a sequel. Even something like, let's say, there were 4 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, right?
There's gonna be a fifth, yeah.
And it was originally a trilogy.
Yes, I believe so.
So that was kind of weird as well because it's like, oh, it's over, but it's not.
I think for me the Pirates movies are more of like adventures 1 through 4, as opposed to one big adventure broken up into 4 parts. Kind of like,
Yeah.
kind of like with what they did with like, for instance, Breaking Dawn. I didn't watch it, but they broke well, Harry Potter too. They broke the seventh movie or the seventh book into 2 movies. And going in, I was okay with that. But if they would have just been like, well, if they would have not said that and it would have been like, well, this is the seventh movie, I would have gone in thinking, okay, well, we're going to have a conclusion. And then, of course, it would have ended where it ended. And I've been like, wait, this is not the ending.
This isn't the ending,
WTF,
exactly.
Yeah.
mate. Like,
That wasn't my issue with
I
Breaking
want,
Dawn Part 2.
I want my $10 back because the movie's not over. They didn't finish
Yeah.
the movie.
But I mean, you know what I'm talking about, though. Like, there's just movies that don't really have endings that you expected to. Like, they don't warn you that there's no ending.
Yeah.
I watched Paranormal Activity 4 yesterday,
God, that's so
and
stupid.
it's the worst thing. Like, I actually enjoyed the first film. I thought it was decent because like it was something that I hadn't really seen before, as such. And then I enjoyed the third one. Fourth one was shit, absolute crap. And then I went on Wikipedia, find out, yep, they're making a fifth one, but it's obvious they're going to do it. So,
Well, it's like the
and
Exorcism movies too.
yep,
They just
Nightmare
keep
on Elm
making
Street.
like they're never gonna end.
As long as people are stupid enough to show up to see those movies, they will keep making them. It's like the
But that's the
parody.
same way with games.
It's like the
If
parody
people,
movies that they make. As long as people show up to see those crappy movies, they will make them because they will make
Yeah.
money off them.
But it's the same way with games. I mean, when you're talking about like microtransactions, DLC, just rush titles in general, well, why would we not make an Assassin's Creed game every 6 months if people keep buying it every 6 months?
Exactly.
And from a business perspective, it's smart.
Yeah, and there will become a point where they'll run their own game into the ground and then no one will want to buy it and it will be bad because it's A, oversaturated, or B, it's just bad. Like for
Yep.
me, like I can only buy a certain number of games in a 12-month period that I can actually play. I can buy more games than I'll actually play, but I still have to have the time to play them. And if I can't play them, then I'm not going to buy the next one, you know? So,
Do you feel like, let's say, I'm trying to think of an example of a game that actually ran, or a series that ran itself into the ground for just not being polished.
Guitar
And
Hero.
yeah, that's the only
Mm.
example I can really think of is Guitar Hero. They just kept busting them out, busting them out,
Tony
busting them
Hawk
out.
Tony Hawk video game series. After American Wasteland, they were bad.
I
I did
think as soon as they switched to the current gen, they just kind of died.
I liked Underground 1 and 2, and I liked American Wasteland, but I didn't like Project 8. I didn't like Proving Ground. I didn't like Ride. I didn't like any of those. So,
I enjoyed Project 8, probably because it was the first time I played a Tony Hawk's in a while. I used to play Tony Hawk's 2 a lot. I
yeah.
didn't really play Underground, but I don't know, it's just nice being able to play it and
Now-
kind of took me back to my childhood a little bit.
On Tony Hawk, though, was the problem that they were releasing too much, or that they were trying to change it too much?
I think it was if they would have just like made like a third Underground or a fourth Underground or gone back to another American Wasteland, I think it would have been the same because they would have just it was too much. It felt like to me every time I turned around there was a new Tony Hawk game coming out.
Yeah, and I feel the same way, but I still don't know. If they release like Underground, or not Underground, if they release like Pro Skater 27, I'd be tempted to pick it up, but that'd be because I haven't played it in so long that I actually want to play it again.
Yeah, I
Definitely
suppose
after like Pro Skater, I don't think I bought any of the Pro Skaters after 4.
there weren't any
I think
after
that
4.
was my last one. Really,
Four-
I thought it went up to 6.
No, it was Pro Skater 1 through 4. At least I remember. I'll Wikipedia it right now. But my thing was 1 through 4, and then Underground 1 and 2, and then American Wasteland.
Okay, I think then I had 1 through 3. I skipped 4. I skipped Underground 1. I had Underground 2, and then I bought Project 8, and that was the last one I bought.
Let's see what we got here. Uh, Sequels. Yes. Okay. So there's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 through 4, Underground, Underground 2, and American Wasteland. That was the Underground trilogy, as I do air quotes. And then in the HD era, there's Project 8 and Proving Ground. So in total, there's 9 games.
Okay.
The first Tony Hawk's Pro Skater was released in 1999. So that's 9 games in 14 years, let's call it. 13 years. So not a game every year, but almost.
Yeah.
All right, let's we can move on to the next topic if everyone else is done. I'm good. I've said my piece.
As if I.
Always Connected is number 4. And this is a problem because of what happened with The Sims. And this is a problem what happens at my house when the power goes out every other day. Is that the game? Well, SimCity is the first game to my knowledge that required you to be always connected to be able to play any facet of the game, whether that be single player, multiplayer, or what have you.
Diablo.
Okay,
Doesn't Diablo also do that? Because there is like a non.
Well, I mean, for you'd have to do that for like MMORPGs for like WoW and LoL,
Well,
I'm
but
assuming.
isn't there like a single player component to Diablo that you can
I've
play by yourself if you really want to, but they
I've
make it kind of difficult?
I've never tried it, but maybe. But SimCity is the first game where you literally, no matter what, are kind of on your own anyway.
Yeah,
You're not
it's a
you're
single
not
player game
you're
that
not
requires multiplayer enabled pretty much.
yeah,
Right.
you're not competing against anyone else. You may share assets with another person who's made a city, but you can do the same thing with a computer, person. Um,
Yeah.
for me, that it ruins the game because you can't play the game when the power's out. Um, or like if the internet goes down, like if North Korea takes our internet down, we'd be screwed and we wouldn't be able to play Sim City. Well, I wouldn't know what to do with my life. I really wouldn't. Um, but I don't like it. And it's not because I don't like it because of change. I don't like it because, well, first, SimCity is going to be useless in however many years when the servers die, when they take the servers out. And if the internet goes down for whatever reason, you can't play it. So it's not even really your game because you can't
Yeah.
play it without their servers. So it's like you're renting space on their server
Mm-hmm.
for however long. And if I want to buy a game, I want to own the game. And this kind of runs into what I want to talk about with PS4. But I want the game. I want to be able to purchase a copy of the game and own a copy of the game, be able to play it whenever I want to play it, be able to play it on multiple systems if I want to play it on multiple systems. If my computer dies or what have you, I want to be able to play it on 2 billion different computers if that need be. And I want to be able to take it to my friend's house and play it there if I want. And having the internet connection kind of doesn't let me do that.
Yeah,
So
I kind of find it funny that SimCity actually came out and that you were required to play online because, I mean, when the rumors were coming through about the PS4 and the Xbox 720, I mean, they talked about having to be online all the time on your console. And I mean, the backlash for that was absolutely amazing. And so
yeah,
it's kind of retarded that they would think that that was okay to release a game and say, oh yeah, you have to be online to play.
Even though you don't even have to be online to play.
Exactly.
Yeah, somebody's like somebody came out and said, "Oh, you don't have to be online. There's nothing necessary about that." And then I've got up now Lucy Bradshaw or somebody who's with Max's saying, "Oh no, that's wrong." And the
yeah,
guy
I
was
saw
saying
that
basically
argument.
she didn't understand. So that's where the problem comes in that the person talking to the public doesn't understand. Um,
Well,
you
did
have
you did
some
you
guy hacked it or something, and now you can play it offline by changing the code. Obviously, not everyone's going to have access to do that, but it just goes to show that you're paying for a product that has been falsely represented.
yeah. And I think if they're going to do that, they shouldn't be able to charge full game price because I'm not going to be able to have access to that game forever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of arguments. I mean, you can track just charging full game price is kind of an iffy statement nowadays. You could say, well, is it right to charge full game price for any game that's going to have DLC that's related to the plot?
Well, we're not. That's an argument that's not going to get anywhere. I can
Yeah.
guarantee that. But
Mm.
It's always been my complaint about PC games that they're kind of like this. A lot of my Steam games, whether they have a multiplayer component or not, require you to log into Steam to launch it. Whether they're already downloaded on your system or not is irrelevant. You need to authorize your Steam account to even be able to launch the game. And in times where my internet's down, I pretty much lose half my Steam library right there because I can't log in. And so it's kind of surprising to me that this is all coming up right now around SimCity when in my mind, it's been a problem ever since I kind of switched over to PC gaming. Since I've had to deal with it so many different times, since my internet's not always consistent. The good thing about that is that you only need to log in once in order to actually play the game until your heart's content, pretty much. So I guess if you never shut down your computer, you're good for life. But if you're like me and you restart a lot, then it'll just lock you out and you can't play single player games because you can't authorize your Steam account.
right.
I wonder what's going to happen with the Steam box then when that comes out. Is that going to be an always online console?
Probably.
I imagine it would be, yeah.
Yeah.
And what I'm finding interesting too is that they didn't mention that, and I actually work currently in a county where only about 40% of people have internet access. And I know that that's probably mind blowing to a lot of people, but
My mind is blown.
there's a lot of, especially in Appalachia where I live, um, there's a lot of places and counties that don't have internet access, or have very bad internet access. Like the 40% of people who do have internet, most of them still have dial-up.
Wow.
My mind is still blown.
There's an entire 560 some person organization dedicated to bringing broadband to this part of the United States. And
See, we
they're
don't have that issue over here. It's more everyone just wants fiber optic, and
yeah,
nobody can get it.
well, yeah. Well, we can't even get fiber optic down fast enough to get broadband to people who need it. It's been it's just bad. But anyway, I've said my piece about always connected. I hate it and I want it to die.
Well, I think the bad part about, and I'm not speaking off of something I heard, I'm assuming this, is that you can buy SimCity without and not be able to play it.
Yeah,
Like,
there was
because
there
is
was
there a physical release for it? Like, does it come on a physical disc, or do you have to
it
download it?
does. And someone had actually asked the people for their money back, saying, that I want my money back because I can't, this is I don't own this game, and they wouldn't give it to them.
I remember reading about that.
I,
Yeah.
I read about that, and then I read about the people who basically said, well, we could have made it so that way you didn't have to be always online, but we didn't envision that in our game. And I was like, did you really just say that? Like, you told people that the thing that everyone wants, you could have easily done and still could easily do, but it's not in the best interest of what you believe is in the best interest of your game. I just my brain when I read that, my brain literally exploded, put itself back together just so it could explode again. I mean, I did not understand how you could uh I was I was so mad. I was seeing sideways. I mean, it was just it was rough.
So, Shady, is this a topic for this little podcast thing we're doing? Um, to kind of like think about other applications of this, or did you just want to rant about SimCity?
Well, I mean,
Either is fine.
SimCity was just kind of the more present case that came to mind. I'm sure that there are other um applications that I'm sure if you want to talk about, I'd be willing to talk about because I'm always open to thinking about new things.
Well, I'm just thinking, so is this the way things will be in the future?
I hope not.
You have your companies that have their own services, and basically what this is just EA or EA, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it's EA
Well,
wanting
I
people
hate
to use their
EA.
servers and go through their systems to do things.
EA to me is the antichrist of gaming because they were the first people that started charging $10 for you to use online features for used games, and then their customer service sucks.
Mm.
Then they said that if you had a game and you didn't like it, you were tough luck. And then they did this online only thing with SimCity, and also they were kind of the first game that I noticed that added these features into Madden that were specifically designed to get money from the gamer. Like you could get those Madden cards, and the only way you could be competitive in that mode was to pay money, like actual dollars, to get in-game money to spend on cards and stuff.
Well,
Was
that's kind of an
was
MMO mentality then.
was really the only way you could succeed. I mean, you literally cannot play this feature unless you spend money because the way it's set up, you run out of contracts, and you can't get more contracts unless you play, and you can't play because you don't have anybody with any contracts. So the only
Yeah.
way to do it is to spend money and buy packs to get contracts.
Now, SimCity is it a PC exclusive?
Yes,
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay, well, because that's always how, for the most part, PC games are non-returnable because you can just install them and then you have your own copy and then you return it and then basically you get your money back and you get to keep the game.
Mm.
I remember like way back in the day I bought like The Sims 3 and thought it was the original and went to return it and they're like, oh no, you opened the box, we'll take it back but we won't give you money for it. It's like no thanks, I'll just keep it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of always been how PC games have worked, just because it's so easy to take all of the content on the disc off of the disc and then just turn it back. And
Yeah, I mean, I
I
understand that, but
yeah, I feel like that's kind of been more lax now that we live in the golden age of piracy. And it's like, well, you could just pirate it, so why would you buy it and then return it? Um, but it's still just kind of how the PC gaming world has worked in my experience as like an 8-year-old kid buying The Sims 3. Told.
yeah. I mean, I understand that, but it's like on one level, it's like if you make a bad game or a game that like say I bought it and then I opened it, installed it, and then I don't have access to the internet. Now, there's no way I would have known going into that you wouldn't be able to play it without the internet. So I'm basically out $60.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do. It's basically like going out on the street, throwing $60 on the ground and walking away from it.
Oh, no, it's just people who
I
are
mean,
honest and
I mean,
have problems versus people who
well,
are
yeah, I
just
mean,
trying to take advantage of the system.
to me, it wouldn't be as big of a deal as if they would have come out and said it.
Yeah, exactly.
And they didn't do that. At least I don't think they did that.
Wasn't there some big thing about, I want to say it was Black Ops 1 or something, like it said that there was like 20-player multiplayer on the box, and then they didn't say that you needed to have internet to get that many people on one system, and there was like a big lawsuit about it.
Might have been, I'm
I
sure.
remember something about that, like there was a big false advertisement lawsuit because they didn't put that you needed internet to play like mag for PS3, like 256 versus 256. They didn't specify that you couldn't do that in LAN.
Yeah.
Like something ridiculous like that. Um, Definitely to
By
play
the
a
way, that
single
was a
player
bad
game.
game.
There are still people who play it, and there are still people who feel very strongly toward it that it's like the best game ever. Because every once in a while I'll hop on the servers for that. But anyways, yeah, it's not okay to have a single player game, at least not in like currently, because we're not used to it, to have a single player game and require internet access to play it.
Yeah,
That should be very clearly stated everywhere,
it's
because
like
it's not the norm.
yeah, it's like Monopoly Streets. If Monopoly Streets would have been that way, I would have been really, really mad. I don't know if you've know, but it's Monopoly on the Xbox or
I've seen
PlayStation. And
I've
I
seen
love the
people
game
play it.
because I have it and I love Monopoly and I'm a super competitive Monopoly player. But I like to play with my parents and my friends instead of dealing with setting up the board, dealing with handling out money. It's so much easier just to have the video game and just sit here and pass the Xbox controller around. I mean, it's no more difficult than passing the dice around. And we sit here and we have fun, we drink beer and we talk about stupid stuff and play Monopoly. But
We don't have fun when we play Monopoly. Everyone just hates me.
It's heated Monopoly.
yeah, heated
It's
enough.
very heated.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, I would have been mad about that, or really any game if it's you have to be online to play the single player. Just it would make me mad, and I would find people to assassinate. I would. Okay.
Okay then.
So now is a topic that I think is close to all our hearts, because I know we're all Sony fans. Um, it's the PS4, and that's going to be released at the end of this year in probably 6 months or so.
Holiday season.
Holiday season, whatever that means, November maybe. Um, so I guess we should probably go around in a circle and say, are we going to buy it at launch or eventually, or is the jury still out, or definitely no? And where on the spectrum you fall. So Crystal, I think I know where you fall, but go ahead.
I definitely would like to get it on launch. Like that's my main goal right now is to get it for launch.
Okay.
Cool.
Vince, your turn.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would say that have no plans to ever get it, but that's probably going to end up being false. But as of now, I'm not that excited at all.
Callum.
I would say I'm looking to get it at launch because it would be the first console I've got at launch since I don't even remember when. I didn't get Xbox till a good few years after that came out. Didn't get PS3 till earlier this year, actually. I got it at Christmas 2012. So I waited a long time to get it, and part of me wish I'd got it at launch, but it's so expensive, and that's probably why
Yeah.
I won't get this one at launch, because it's just going to cost too much.
Mm.
But yeah, maybe I'll save up for it. Who knows?
Well, for me, I'll probably get it at some point, but I'm not getting it. I'm definitely not buying it at launch. Um, and I guess I'll just start off by saying why. The price point's going to be a concern. I don't know. I've heard $429. I've heard $499. I've heard 500 and the various $500 amounts. I've heard $600 amounts. Um, but for me, I'm still enjoying my PlayStation 3. They're still going to be making PlayStation 3 games. And a lot of what I've heard about the PS4 is kind of smoke because I don't know what's true. I've heard, that they're going to be very limited amount of games. And I've heard, has anyone confirmed that there will be the ability to buy used games? Are they going to require like a code for each game you buy or something?
I heard that you will be able to buy used games, but I don't know that for a fact.
Okay, I had heard that, but I wasn't sure. And I had heard that they were going to only make that the quote was there would be some games would have physical copies, but I guess their idea is to go to download only eventually.
Well,
And
that shift
that's
is clear right now. I mean, if you look at,
Mm,
I just don't like it.
yeah, I don't
I'm
either, but that's
surprised
definitely the future.
I'm surprised they still have more physical products.
Yeah, for me that was the whole reason why why I didn't buy Journey and didn't buy Flower was because I wanted to wait until I got like a physical copy. And I was like, well, is this ever going to come? And then of course they made the 3-pack with Flow and I bought that for like 15 bucks.
I didn't know about that.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's great. It was $30 new and then they had a special where you could get Sony games for half price and I paid 15 bucks. It was the best 15 bucks I've ever spent. Um, but for me, I like to have a physical copy because I like to see it on my shelf and be like, oh, I haven't played that in a while. I bet that'd be a lot of fun to play right now. And having it messy in a bunch of files on my PlayStation doesn't allow me to do that. So like after you're done playing it, after you've bought it, the replay value is harmed by not being able to see it on your shelf or what have you.
Mm. Plus, I just like showing off all of my games to everyone.
Yeah, I like showing how big of a nerd I am and how much games
Hmm.
I have. And two, with the PlayStation 4, I feel like we haven't reached the end of what the PlayStation 3 can do.
That's absolutely true.
Like I feel like
The self processor hasn't been used at all because developers don't like it. That's probably a big reason why the PS4 is coming out before the Xbox 720 is because they want to get a platform out that developers actually like.
Mm.
The big
yeah,
shocker to me was that Killzone 3 actually only runs at 30 frames per second.
yeah,
I just found that out like a couple weeks ago. It's like, wow, that's like one of the best. I mean, made for PS3. They flaunt it all over the place. They're like, yo, this game looks amazing, but it only runs at 30 FPS for whatever reason.
I don't know. That game looked beautiful to me when I was playing it regularly.
It did.
What was that like 2 years ago, I think, when that came out?
I played the beta. I never bought the game.
Oh, I bought the game because I wanted to be. That was another one of those franchises I wanted to get into. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Crystal, why are you looking forward to it? Let's just alternate since we have two people who want it and two people who don't really want it.
All right. I'm really interested in the share qualities that the PS4 is gonna have. I mean, I don't know. It just makes things seem a lot less complicated than they are now.
in what aspect?
Streaming. I mean, sharing screenshots. I mean, everything. I mean,
Oh, so
now.
like you could like you know how like you could bypass a PVR and you can directly stream from your PlayStation to Twitch or where have you.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that I understand looking forward to, but for me it's just as easy to just record to my through my PVR or what have you. But I could see that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm really gonna enjoy the new social aspects that they're integrating into the PS4. I think it's just a really cool advancement.
Like what are you talking? I haven't heard about these. What? Like Facebook and Twitter
Most
or
likely,
huh?
probably
Yeah.
a lot of things.
Because I find certain notifications on Facebook about like, oh, I won this trophy in this game to be super annoying, and I totally
I
blocked
have
that
those
person
on.
on my friends list
Yeah.
who had that happen like all the time.
But I love
Yeah.
sharing my trophies.
And it wasn't you, Vince. It was somebody else I knew from college that, like,
Good.
every time I
I
turned
know you
around,
love my trophies.
I do love your trophies. It was like every time I turned around, they were playing this game or they were doing this, and literally my entire feed was so and so is playing this game. So and so just won this trophy. So and so just did this. So and so just jumped off a bridge and didn't die. I was just like, I'm done. And
About that though, like they don't update it in equal chunks.
Mm.
And that's the part that I find really annoying. Like I'll play a game and like 3 months later I'll play it again and there'll be like 80 notifications on my Facebook that just all pop up. That's an
yeah,
individual one for every single trophy I've ever gotten in that game. And it's like, no, I didn't get these all at once. I got them like over the course of 3 months and they all just posted at the same time.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that gets a little annoying for sure.
But yeah, I saw that in the Game Informer that they were like they basically took out the start and select buttons, and there's one button that's like options and another one that says share, and they just have like screen region sharing. They didn't really go into because they haven't announced anything, but yeah, it just seems like there's a lot of social aspects to it.
I think actually the start and select buttons are actually now down towards the thumbsticks more, and the shares kind of more in the middle. Is what I
No,
thought I
it's on
saw.
the upper left and right. Like it's yeah, it's upper left and right.
Okay.
In the middle region of the controller. They're basically just pushed towards the corners from where they are right now.
I need to see.
I'm like holding my PS3 and pointing to it, and you can't see it.
Yeah.
My controller.
I'm looking at the PlayStation. I'm gonna look at an image of the PlayStation 4 controller on the internet just to see
All right.
what it looks like. Because I mean I've seen it, but I haven't like looked at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it's my turn then.
Oh, okay. I
If
see
you're done,
share and
Crystal.
options. Okay.
Are you done, Crystal?
Well, I want to know what the touch pad's gonna be like. Like, how are we gonna have to use that
I hope
in
it
terms
doesn't.
of playing games?
I hope it A doesn't suck, and I hope B it doesn't ruin games like the PlayStation Move did.
Yeah.
I feel like Killzone 3 was kind of harmed by the Move because they tried to like implement it so hard that it almost takes away from the
Well, just
experience of the game.
even before that, just look at how much Six Axis died out.
Oh, I know.
Oh God,
Like,
The
definitely.
only game I
when
ever
was the
played
last
where that
time that
was
you ever had to do that?
I had to do it once for Silver Server in one of the Marvels, and I think you had to do it in uh it was a ooh, I don't even know. I know that there was like one other time.
In Resistance 1, you used it to something to do with grenades. I remember that. You like if you got stuck with a grenade, you'd like literally shake it off. Um, Heavy Rain used it a lot for
Yeah.
various things, which I didn't like because I play laying down, so my controller was like permanently tilted up, and it
That's
didn't calibrate
that's my
that.
problem is that when I'm gaming, I
Yeah,
like
I
to
played a
game from
lot
a
of
bunch of
various
different
trimmings.
positions, you know.
Heavenly Sword attempted to use it. If anybody had the misfortune of playing that game with the motion controls on, basically you could throw boomerangs and you could control it with the motion sensor. It was horrible.
I've
And
got Lair. I got
yeah,
that the other
Layer
day,
was another one.
pre-owned.
You could turn that off. You could turn it off in that too. Basically,
Oh,
the game
can
was
you?
borderline unplayable without it, and actually fairly solid titles with it off.
It's just to
Um,
be. I don't think I'm ever going to play it again. I played it for about half an hour and decided that it was shit.
yeah, I've tried to get. I've just traded it in not too long ago. I think Heavy Rain was the most recent game I played that actually used it for something. Oh,
Yeah,
Journey.
it just
The
kind of
Journey's the most
disappeared.
recent game
Ah.
that I actually
Oh,
used.
that was it. It was Journey that required it and Flower.
Although you don't actually need it for Journey, you can use the thumbstick. They just don't tell
Yeah.
you that.
It's Flower was the one that I was thinking of that made you use it. But I thought it worked well in Flower because Flower is not a game of
Yeah,
accuracy or
definitely. And I thought it was well done in Heavy Rain as well.
yeah.
You could
But
also
just
activate it in Grand Theft Auto as well.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, when was the last time
Sucked.
that Six Axis actually was actually useful and games were actually made for it? Like, there was a time around launch where they actually intended to use it for a lot of things, but there was such bad reception of it that they just kind of moved on to the Move, and then that pretty much befell the same fate.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I like things traditional. I just want my controller.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
All
don't.
right.
I wouldn't mind the touchpad so much if it was more for like browsing services,
Yeah.
especially
So I
things
guess
like
is it
Netflix.
my turn. Okay.
Go for it.
Go for it, Vince.
I guess, yeah, that's one of my bigger concerns too, is the touchpad. Like, the touchpad kind of scares me.
Yeah.
Seeing the Wii U, and like, at first I thought it was like, the Wii U's gonna fail because, I'm looking at the TV, I'm not looking at my controller. Knowing Xbox players, I know that they don't look at their controllers because I've heard enough of them complain about their controllers dying halfway through a match. So I was really concerned about that, but the Wii U, you don't hear people really complaining about that very much at all. I've never heard anyone complain about like it being a struggle to switch between the touchpad screen and the physical screen. And so I don't think that's going to be as big of a deal as I thought it would be. I feel like they're doing too much with the controller. Like, they have the speakers in it, and I don't feel that that's an important thing or that should be emphasized at all.
I don't even think it's necessary.
Mm-mm.
I rock a headset, or I have my two Logitech speakers that are on my TV. I don't need a crappy speaker in my controller.
They also put the headphone jack in the controller. I'm not sure if that means that it's going to be like Xbox controllers where you have to plug your headset into the controller to hear the game sound, or if it's going to be...
You mean to chat?
Yeah, whatever you need them for. I know you have to plug your headsets into
Right.
Xbox controllers. Or I guess, though, it'd just be so that you could get the sound from the controller through the headset.
Yeah, maybe that would be it, because then you wouldn't have to sit so close to the TV. But for me, I have a headset with like a 12-foot cord or something stupid like that, so I can sit wherever I want. But
mine's like 18 feet, I think, 6 yards. But the PS4 to me, it seems like it's a very dumbed down PC, and they've been saying this a lot lately. The PS2 was essentially a computer. Obviously, the Xbox was, and that's why they're actually really hard to emulate. Is because they're so much like computers. The PS3 and the Xbox 360 are continuing that. The PS4, it just seems like with all the the sharing options that you were talking about, Crystal.
Mm.
It seems like a lot of what you can do on PC. If you have a friend and you're playing the same game with them, you open up a Skype call, you share the screen in Skype, whatever. It's no big deal. That's a lot of what it seemed like to me as far as what that share option does, is basically just the features of a computer without all the extra software and the configuration that you would require on a PC.
Yeah.
Combining that with like things like just the quality of games in general, assuming that most games install to the hard drive, and they're just going to be massive files, just huge files. It just seems like I'm better off for my money just having a decent PC and just playing with a PlayStation controller.
Mm.
Pound for pound, I just don't really see the necessity of the next gen, besides just providing an isolated gaming environment that I can mostly have on a computer with a little bit of knowledge and configuration. Other than that, I guess it just kind of hit me that I actually attempted to make a list of games from older generations that I'd always wanted to play and never had. And that list, like, I stopped at 100 games because I was like, okay, I need to start thinking of which I'm actually going to play now. It's also because I watch a lot of speedrunning. You get exposed to a lot of games that you might not have otherwise heard of, that are pretty lengthy, like 8 or 9 hour long games for like the Super Nintendo. And so I guess I just figured instead of spending money on new games, I'd rather kind of take a step back and enjoy all those games that I never beat, enjoy all those games that I wanted to play for older generations, when a lot of thought was put into making the game really enjoyable rather than just really pretty or really big.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And paying $60 for it. And then paying, another $100 for DLC and whatnot.
I think what annoys me is the fact that it's not backwards compatible. So they're saying, oh, well, you might eventually be able to play the game that you already have, but you're going to have to buy a digital copy.
Yeah, and Sony is the PlayStation 3. It has horrible emulation of PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. You're better off running the copies on an emulator on PC than you are on running them on the actual console. The emulation's that bad.
Really?
Yeah, it's really terrible.
Yeah, I've never tried, so that's interesting.
As an end user, it's probably not that big of a deal. The thing is that I have a friend who speedran Spyro 2, and he was using the digital copy, and it was significantly slower than the physical copy in the slowest format. Like
Oh, wow.
on a physical PS2, the slowest way you could play it, the digital copy is worse than that. But yeah, not being backwards compatible is a big deal to me, just because I don't want to have two consoles on display for a while and have to change between them.
Or
Mm.
like me and just have a shelf full of old consoles because I have all of mine out because I play them all randomly. And
I do as well, and it's a pain to have to switch between them for me,
I
especially when some use components, some use this jack, some use that
I don't
jack.
even switch between them. I bought um a video switcher. It's got
Nice.
12 inputs. So
That's great.
I have my Xbox, my PlayStation, my Nintendo 64, my PS2, my PS1, my Nintendo, my Super Nintendo, and my Sega Genesis all plugged into this thing.
Damn.
And
Yeah,
I have a
And
but
remote.
like,
That's a lot of
I
you know,
have
like
games.
I don't
I
want to
have
have
a
to go
remote.
through that. There's like that awkward phase where you're like, oh man, Modern Warfare 4 is out for the PS2, 3 and not the PS4, so that's my primary multiplayer game. So I'm gonna, play all my single player games on PS4, and then when friends text me to go switch to PS3 to play this game, like,
All it is it's literally one button switch on a remote. Literally, I have a remote and it has the numbers 1 through 12 on it, and you push which one you want to go to, and I have them all labeled. So
nice.
all I literally have to do is push the button that says PS3 and it flips it to the one that's PS3, or I push the one that says PS2 and it flips the one to PS2. But my PlayStation 2 I actually have through HDMI, so only for recording is when it goes through the video switcher. But anyway,
Well,
that's
dang.
besides the point. Yeah.
All right, I think that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I'm done about the
So,
PS4.
Callum,
Mhm.
One thing I'll say about PS4 is I hope they just come out with lots of hard drive sizes because
Yeah.
for me, I bought a 12 gigabyte super slim because it was really cheap, like at Christmas. So, and I know that I can buy a hard drive for a lot less than it would have cost to get the 500 gig version. So
yeah,
if they don't have stuff like that, then I can't see myself buying it for a good few years.
I think I have like a 250 gig one, a 250 gig slim, and like my hard drive, like I just looked at it the other day, it's full. Like I went to download Infamous 2, which was 14 and a half gigs, and my hard drive was full, so I had to go through and delete a bunch of stuff. But like, yeah, I'm just really not looking forward to that whole period of like, oh hey, this is a 50 gig game, have fun downloading that,
Yeah.
and then have fun installing that after, because that's going to be a journey. You don't
Well,
just buy a game and have it. You have to like go through all these hoops, I feel like.
Well, yeah, but the one thing that I do like about the PS4 is the fact that you can play games while you download them.
Can
So,
you?
yes.
That's a good I don't know why the PS3 doesn't do that, except that I get it, because if you use something that uses internet, then you're going to screw yourself over.
Yeah.
So are we done here?
That's all I have to say about PS4. Just that I'm still not sure whether I'd wait for Xbox 720 because up until last December I was an Xbox user all my life basically.
I'm trying to figure out what they're gonna have to come up with in order to make them seem better than the PS4, instead of just coming and being like, "Yeah, we can do this too."
Yeah,
Well,
it doesn't have to be a we can do this too, does it? It does need to be what are we doing differently because
Yeah.
I mean you see
well, was there a big
the
difference between the 360 and the PS3 besides Blu-ray versus
the only
HD?
the only thing I prefer about the Xbox is party system. Um, you can't have party chat in PS3, can you? Like, say
No.
No.
on COD, I'd like to be able to just get into a party rather than having
Yeah.
to mute people whenever they come into the lobby.
Right.
Obviously, you pay a fee on Xbox, but I think it's a good product that you get out of it. So for me, if I heard it was a RAM issue with PS3, which means that they can't do that. All of the RAM is being used for the games, and nothing is left to do party stuff. So hopefully they think it out a bit better. But no, I'm not going to get it at launch. Probably it'll be a shocker if I buy the next Call of Duty at launch. Be interesting to see if I do actually. But yeah, that's all I have to say really. Who's next?
We're through everybody, but just
Yep.
on one final note, it's bothered me that they haven't shown the console yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very, Nintendo did that with the Wii U. They really didn't show the console until like basically release. I don't think I saw it before it was released. I think
Yeah, I don't
up
think I
until
did
release,
either. I saw the
up until
controller, but that was it.
yeah, up until I think Pwn started a box opening, I was expecting it to just be a controller. And that was kind of okay because a lot of what the Wii U brings is revolving around the controller. What Sony's doing with the PS4 is not so much revolving around the controller. And so I don't know why they refuse to show or haven't shown the console yet. I don't know what's the big secret that's behind the console that they're not wanting to tell people.
Yeah, unless there is something huge that they plan on telling. But I really can't think of anything.
Preferably not that the console's huge, which is kind of the worst case scenario.
Maybe the console will be a TV, and you'll buy a PlayStation television and I don't know.
I just
Don't give
find
them my ideas.
the controller is not the selling point. With the PS3, I remember. Do you remember the boomerang controllers for the PS3?
Oh my god, I wanted to blow those
Original.
things up.
And they didn't really tell you that wasn't going to be the final controller design until like right before it launched. Like they just kept showing the consoles over and over again in silver, white, and black, and never came out in white or silver. But either way, they just kept showing the console over and over again. The box. Like, look how small it is compared to computers. So it's really weird to me that they're not showing the console this time around when the controller is not the selling point. So that's my final note.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess our last topic here is I wanted to post this question mainly to Crystal. Um, the last thing is I'm going to be going to PAX here in 5 days, 6 days, however many days it is. And I'm going to be speaking with indie developers. I've actually already made 2 appointments to speak with them. And I was wondering, is there anything you think I should ask, or you think that you would want to know from someone who's trying to write and develop a game?
Yeah, can I have a job? Honestly, I can't think of anything specific at the moment. Um, I really don't know. I mean, basically, just for the fact that I've been personally focusing on journalism.
And I'm definitely going to both gaming journalism sessions for sure. There's one on Friday at 11:30 and one on Saturday at 11:30, and I'm going to go to both. And I'm going to be in the front row for both. But for me, when I meet these people, I'm going to ask them how they got their company off the ground
Mm.
and how they're making money. And then I'm going to try to do that. So,
Yeah,
I mean, it's
really.
easier than said than done, I'm sure, but um, all the indie developers that are there are iOS developers.
Mm.
None of the games are like a PlayStation game or an Xbox game or a whatever your have you game. They're all for mobile devices, which I
Right.
thought was interesting because that probably says a lot about the indie game industry as a whole. But for someone who likes consoles, if I were an indie developer, I would want to have the opportunity to make a game for console.
Yeah, exactly.
But even though the money's in mobile games now, more more money is in mobile games for a small developer than would be console.
Definitely.
Lots more money.
Just I've been thinking about this because, like I told you beforehand, that I didn't have anything to contribute. So I've been trying to think throughout this whole thing of something to contribute. Um, I'd like to know from a lot of kind of like starting out indie developers who've seen a little bit of success, what their views on piracy are. You take a guy like Notch, and he's kind of said like, cool, people can pirate my game. I don't really mind as long as people who are enjoying it buy it. And if I make a little money, then that's good too. And Minecraft's obviously very successful.
Yeah.
So it's and then you take someone like the larger companies like Activision, EA, Ubisoft, or is Ubisoft like a major publisher? Sure, we'll
Why
say
not?
they are. Um, and those guys are like constantly issuing lawsuits and stuff against people who pirate and just very anti-piracy all the time. releasing AAA titles, stuff like that. But you actually see more success, in my mind, with people, developers who are open to piracy and see it as a tool that could be used to spread word of mouth, advertisement for their game.
Yeah.
That's not just restricted to gaming. That's also a few artists, music artists that I know are openly pirating or posting their albums on piracy websites, and it's actually gotten them quite a bit of profit.
Radiohead has in Rainbows, wasn't that like the most sold album ever?
I know nothing of Radiohead.
I had heard that they released in Rainbows. I got a physical copy and I paid $5 for it.
Was
And
that the release where you could pay whatever you wanted?
yeah, you could pay
Right,
whatever
yeah.
you wanted, either in an electronic or physical copy. But I think they charged you $1 to like make the CD for the physical copy. So it was like whatever you wanted to play plus $1 got you the physical copy. And they made buckets and buckets and buckets of money on it.
Yeah. So that's one question. Just openness to piracy as a modern starting out developer, like whether they think it's a good tool. Obviously, is not absolutely desirable, but do they think it's a good or bad thing? Are they going to be one of those guys that like starts opening lawsuits and issuing notices to everybody who pirates their game that they're horrible people and deserve to die?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. The other question that I'd be interested in is what's their, I guess for a mobile platform, it's not that important, but what's their most important quality of a game that people go for? So what is their intent when making a game? What are they most emphasized upon? In the mobile market, it seems like it's replay value. How addicting can you make something?
Yeah.
And nothing else really matters that much. Going to modern console games, you think, well, half of it's based on replay value. How addicting can I make something? And the other half is how visually appealing is it?
Yeah.
But you go back 10 years and it's not really either of those things. It's pretty much just like, how can I make this enjoyable or difficult, one of the two? And we need to have a really good plot. Like, those are the two things that were emphasized 10, 15 years ago, in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take a game like Super Mario 64 and OOT, graphically, they were just trying to see what they could do. And a lot of the coding is really shoddy in both of those games, which is why there's so many exploits for them. But just seeing kind of as a modern day developer, is the focus just on like microtransactions? And like if you take Angry Birds, for example, that's what I think of. You have to pay money for everything in Angry Birds. Everything.
Yeah.
Like you want to go to like level 5? Nope, you got to pay for that. Gotta go to level 6. Like they start charging for like individual levels after a while in like a sequential campaign. And then there's just a bajillion different expansion packs and holiday editions and whatnot.
Yeah.
So is that what they're going for? Like, is that an important part of their development process, is to allow for infinite DLC? Or is it just kind of like to make something that's fun? Or is it even to make something fun or just make something addicting? Like, I wouldn't say Call of Duty is really that fun. I would say it's very addicting.
Yeah, I could agree with you there.
So those are things that I would want to ask if I got to talk to some small-time devs. But those are more console-based dev questions and not so much, or PC-based dev questions and not so much mobile games.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. I'll keep those in mind. I wrote them down, and I'll be sure to ask when I have my meetings, my interviews. I'm gonna grill them hardcore.
Tell them Crystal says hi.
I will. I'll get up right in their face, and I'll just be like, "Crystal says hi,"
Yes,
just
do it
like
just
that,
like that.
creepily and like breathily and like oh
And it'll probably show up in some journal about it. Like, there's this really creepy guy who walked up to me and got right in my face and said, "Crystal says hi."
Oh, that'd be amazing. Do it.
I will. I will. What was that? What was that?
That's a motorcycle.
Angry motorcycle.
Okay, I didn't. What is going on? Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's all we have for today.
Hey, Shady, I have a
Yeah.
question for you. So what are you looking forward to at PAX? honestly, gaming events, besides E3, don't really catch my attention. And even nowadays, I don't even think I watched E3 last year. I read a summary of it.
Well, I'm looking forward to the two journalism sessions that I had mentioned. I'm really looking forward to playing Blacklight because I'm buying it and spending $190 on it. And I don't know if I'm actually going to even play the game. So I'm gonna try to play the demo. Wizards of the Coast is gonna be there, and they made a card game when I was a kid called MLB Showdown, and I'm hoping to persuade them to bring that back. They discontinued that game in like 2005, so I'm gonna try to see if I can't kidnap one of them and hold MLB Showdown as their ransom. Um,
Always a good plan.
of course, there's the chance that I'll meet some people from the internet that I haven't met in real life yet. I already promised I am Spoon I would buy him dinner, so we're gonna do that. Um, and I just love the city of Boston, and I have an uncle who's from there, and I can't wait to go back and visit the city of my youth, and I've kind of romanticized it to some degree.
So you're
Um,
really not going for the games?
Well, I mean, I'm going. I don't know what all else is going to be there because they just released the schedule, and
Okay.
I've been sick and not able to read, um, so I don't know what else is going to be there. I did get my Game Informer. It's actually behind me. I'm going to read that as soon as we are out of the call and see what else is going to be there. But for the most part, for me, it's all the free stuff too that I'm looking forward to getting. To be honest, um, plus the time
Now,
off.
how much are you paying for this free stuff?
Uh, the trip in total is going to cost me $325 plus $400 plus food.
I wonder if
So
people budget out like their cost of
so
attendance
it's like
versus
it's like
gross amount of free stuff.
well, I mean it's not just because of free stuff, but I mean it's an experience that too that I've been wanting to partake in for many years now, and this is the first kind of real opportunity I've had to do that. So I thought I'd make the best of it, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna have a good time. Spend some time away. I may even go to a spa. I've been thinking about doing that. Um, Getting like a mani-pedi and a facial and a massage or something. I don't know.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. But two, also, Twitch is gonna be there. And I wanted to like learn more about Twitch as a whole. And there's literally like hundreds of different developers and whatnot that I want to
Of course.
go like find out what's going on with their company because they're horrible getting the word out. Um, and mostly because I want to wait in line to play video games.
Of course.
So, um, and also there's a pool, so I'm gonna bring my swimsuit and I'm gonna swim at night when the gym is open. What's really cool is the pool is open 24/7, so I plan on like swimming at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
No, wait, this pool is part of the
It's
hotel and not of the exposition.
it's part of the hotel, yes, I should say.
Okay.
That's part of it too, is I'm looking forward to
I
swimming
wanted
at
to
like
make
1 in the
sure.
morning. Yeah. Um, I think that if I were into more tabletop games or if I were into tournament playing, there's an NBA Jam tournament I thought about going to, but I just know that I'll get beat and I won't have any fun, so I'm not going to go. But for the most part, I'm going to see a couple developers, learn some stuff about journalism, play a few games, get a bunch of free stuff, spend some time away from my home, and that's pretty much it. Swim in a pool at 1 in the morning.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds nice.
Yes. So I am excited to go. I'm fired up. I'm gonna take pictures of anyone I meet. I'm gonna take pictures of my trip. I'm gonna vlog the whole time.
Take pictures of people you don't meet too.
I'm gonna take pictures of random people I see. Like I've already made up in my mind that if I see any of the YouTubers that I know but don't like, I'm gonna take their picture and be like, I would not pose with them because they are gross and icky. But I did see whomever it was. Um,
You
so
should take a before and after picture of people that you do know, that like before you meet them and then after you meet them. Just because I feel like that'd be creepy.
yeah, it would be creepy. Um,
Like, hey, I took a picture of you way across the room and now I'm here.
but yeah, there's people I hope to see, but I'm not gonna like stalk people to like try to meet up with whomever. I'd like.
Is gonna be there.
I think he is, and
Stock CNanners.
I'm not gonna stalk CNanners.
Stock CNanners fangirls.
I would do that though, because there are. Ooh. But like, I'm hoping to meet Spoon and meet Nick since I've known Nick now for 2.5, 3 years almost. Um, maybe Renee and Gassy if they're not busy or whatever, and I'm gonna have dinner with Spoon and I'm rooming with Kyle, so that's gonna be fun. And then there are a bunch of other people that I talk to on Twitch and Twitter that um, I'm gonna hopefully run into at some point. But for the most part, I'm going not for the people, but for the games
Okay then.
and the swimming.
And the swimming.
So, but yeah,
Because pools don't exist where you live.
they don't actually. This is Ohio, and we don't know what a pool is.
I
I
have one. I'll
I
send you pictures.
I searched a pool Ohio open, and Google kicked back 0 results.
Dang.
So, well, that's mostly because it's like 20 degrees here right now. But yeah,
They have heated pools, so
not in Ohio apparently.
dang.
Yeah.
Well, you don't even have internet there, so whatever.
No, we don't have internet in the rural parts of the state. So, but yeah, so I just thought I'd do all that. But yeah, so I'm done.
All right,
Okay.
well, before
Cool.
we actually stop, I mean, we never really introduced who we were, did we?
Not really.
It
You're
went
listening
without
to a
saying.
call of random people.
A call of 4 people who know each other, sort of.
Well, I mean, if you guys want, let's just go around and introduce yourself and talk about what you kind of do.
We'll start with you.
Damn it. All right, fine. My name is Crystal, aka PhoenixDown, because I am not Bananakin Skygirl anymore, because I officially retired that name.
That's good.
But
I
it was the
did.
best.
I know, but no one could pronounce it, and then they realized that it had girl at the end, so then they were like, "Oh my God, are you a girl?"
Girl gamer.
What's a girl?
Girls don't exist. But
I was in like PhoenixDown with like 8 N's at the end.
it has 3 ends.
She says shyly.
It's just 3, okay? It's not that complicated.
Now
But,
people are gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, you're a girl that plays Final Fantasy,"
Now
and
every
you're
time,
gonna tell them, "No, you play Mass Effect."
now every time that you say that you introduce yourself, Crystal, or I introduce you, I'm gonna be like, "This is Crystal, aka Phoenix Down, and formerly
Down and
Bananakin Sky Girl." So it's like gonna make the name longer, and you're gonna be like the artist formerly known as Prince, who was once known as Prince, who is now Prince.
Yes,
It's gonna be like 20 words to say your name.
I'll take it. I think that's hilarious.
PhoenixDown and
Phoenix down. But yeah, that's all I've said about myself. But yeah, I write shit about video games, and it's fun, and people read it, and you should too. So yeah, that's really all I have to say about
so
myself.
Shady's gonna link your blog down below.
Yeah, there will be a multitude of links in the description. There will be channels galore. There will be links galore to various blogs and Twitters. I'm pretty sure I will have a link to the anti-communist page where you can donate. I'm sure that you should probably do that.
And
Yeah,
porn.
in porn, of course. Yes, of course. There will always be porn. Why don't you go ahead, Vince, and introduce yourself before my nose starts bleeding again?
Sounds like we're pressed for time.
Yeah.
I'm Vince, also known as Vinceofalltrades.
Sir Zero.
Answer Zero on Twitter. I don't really do much anymore besides go to school, but I'm usually around different places, creeping hard. So Shady, you don't have to link any of my channels or anything because most of them don't get updated very often.
I still will.
Okay. I play fighting games and talk about things. So yeah.
Cool. Hi everybody, I'm Callum. iTotesmagotes is my
I
my
love
name.
that name. I love that name so much.
And basically I'm not anywhere. I do have a YouTube channel with a couple of videos on there, but mostly I'm here for the community. I do more watching of videos. I used to watch Vince a lot back when he used
And then
to
you ditched
stream
me.
more. I didn't
I
ditch you.
say
I
you ditched me
didn't ditch
before I
you.
streamed.
My girlfriend was
less.
on holiday for 2 weeks in Australia. I was house sitting. I had nothing else to do, and I enjoyed watching your streams.
So you're saying that you replaced me with your girlfriend?
Kind of. She's probably softer than you, so I think it's a good
Softer.
trade. Yeah.
I'm incredibly soft.
Vince is very womanly, like soft for a man.
I have received that compliment multiple times. That I am incredibly soft. All right, and
I
I'm
take it
not
back
joking
then.
about that.
Fair enough. Basically, I also make a lot of music. I'd like to make music for video games, so I do have a SoundCloud with stuff on it, which I haven't updated in a while, but I'm sure,
It's good stuff.
hopefully, some of it's shit,
Listen to it.
to be
It's good.
honest. Most of it's crap. But yeah, I'm sure Shady will link that as well. But I'd like to make more. So in the future, keep an eye out because the whole Crash Test Games thing that we want to get underway, I'd like to do the music for some of it. So, that's me. And now on to you, Shady.
My name's Shady. That is my legal name. Not really, but I hate my name. I go by Shady or Shadylikeatree on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, just about everything. I use Shadylikeatree. You'll find me everywhere with that name. I'm a YouTuber, part-time YouTuber in my free time. I have like 600 videos almost. Maybe more than that now, actually. I don't know how many I have. I'm on Twitter all the time because I have a smartphone. Um, I do all kinds of different videos, gameplay stuff, um, IRL stuff. I make funny Nerf gun videos on occasion. Um, I'm a journalist by trade.
Shady,
Um,
this is going on your channel, right?
yes,
Okay.
among other places.
Just
Uh,
making sure. Check out
yes,
Shady's channel for more info on Shady.
yeah. So check out my channel for more info
Because
on
you're already
me
there.
if you're not already here.
They're already there.
And
If not, they're one click away.
if not, you're one click away.
Yeah.
And yeah, journalist by trade, and I like to tell stories. So, and when we get Crash Test games off the ground, hopefully Crystal will be hiring me as community manager when she has money, and I can do that role for her. So,
Crystal will never have money.
no, she will. I have firm faith that in 3 years this thing will be so big that we'll have to hire like 500 people.
Let's hope.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I guess you guys have a good night. I'm gonna take some medicine and eat some food and then go to bed.
Good plan.
Yes.
Great plan.
All
Yep.
right. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed. I certainly did.
It was very fun. Nice speaking to you, Americans.
Yes. Nice speaking to you, sir.
I've just been
What?
staring at your profile picture in Skype the whole time, Callum.
I think it's nice. I think it emotes
It's
me,
wonderful. And we're
No
not allowed to
comment.
talk about it.
I have no comment.
Are we done, Shady?
We are done.